Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hey, yeah, I'm still not full voice, but I'm better than I was, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Wake up, get up. Let's do this thing. Welcome to the 6th day of June, and you have found your way, thank the Lord, to be here with all of us together for another episode of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host. Wait, how do you do that? There it is. I gotta quit laughing every time I look at that. We're going to talk about that today and a bunch of other stuff. It's you and I today. I thought we'd have an illuminated conversation. I didn't feel like dealing with a guest today. I just wanted to be with you. Is that okay? There's the bell of purpose. I'm ringing it on purpose. We're going to get started. I'm back from Atlanta. How was your weekend? You know, I was in Miami speaking not the weekend before. I was on my back sick that weekend, but the weekend prior, I was in Atlanta catching what put me on my back. And so it seems like we haven't spent much time together at all. So I thought it'd be a great day for us to just catch up if we could, if that's okay with you. Great. So For those who may not have been here before, where in the world have you been? That's the bell of purpose. I ring it on purpose and I ring it with purpose. Why? Well, first of all, it's a reminder. It's not just some clever show gimmick. It really is. It's an opportunity. It's a reminder that just like that bell has a ring to it, well, so does the truth. And we have to groom ourselves to listen to it and know it through and through. It's the only way to get where we're going without a bunch of sidetracks, right? Getting burned, lied on, lied to, all of that. So there it is, the bell of purpose. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo, my sidekick, which you all know has been here for all 6 years, she is off for the entire month, vacationing somewhere in the Riviera, I hear. But she takes it off every year because it is Gay Pride Month. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I'm drinking tea now because my throat. So yeah, I'm drinking tea. I actually like it. I might just swap out coffee, like I got rid of Diet Coke for V8. I might what do you call it? Swap out coffee for tea. What's your favorite tea? I'm just learning teas. I had some mint tea on the plane yesterday. It was delish. This is some stuff. What is it? I think we bought it for Brian's mother when she's here. It's a harmonious blend of green tea with lemongrass and spearmint. It's called Tao Zen or Taozo. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. What's in your cup this morning? I'd like to know. So here's the deal. Yes. Went to Atlanta this past weekend. Met some wonderful people. You guys, you know those things that come up in our lives, those opportunities, if you will, that you just don't plan for. And so when it happens, you're like, what in the world? That's how this thing was with this honorary doctorate. Some of you may know because I joked about it, but it wasn't really a joke. It was my dealing with imposter syndrome. And I speak of a couple weeks ago when the gown and the regalia and the cords and the hood and all that stuff, the hat, the tassel box was just full of stuff. It came. Brian was out of town visiting his parents. So it was so strange because I knew it was coming, but I was like, no big deal. So it came and it was sitting on the front porch. You know how Alexa tells me, hey, you got a package out there. So I'm looking through the window. I let it sit there for about 3 hours, right? Then I got the nerve to bring it in. And then I took it to the dining room and I put it on the dining room table. I didn't open it. So the next day, I said, okay, I got to open it. So I opened it, but I couldn't take its stuff out, right? So I said, okay, I'll do it later. So I started cleaning. Do you know, I cleaned every room but the dining room. I cleaned all. I was so bad, I would go, I didn't even want to walk past the dining room. Seriously, this really happened. So I walked out the front door, went around the house, came in through the sliders on the deck, just to avoid walking past that box. I'm not kidding you. It felt like a dead body was in the dining room. And so I called Brian. He's a therapist. And I said, honey, what is going on with me in this cap and gown and stuff? And he says, honey, you're probably dealing with some imposter syndrome. Now, I've heard of it. People have been here on the show talking about it. But I didn't think I dealt with it. I really didn't. That's the thing about purpose, y'all. You know, as we do our best, what is greater than takes care of the rest, introduces things that aren't serving us so that we can get rid of them just like we got rid of all that other shit. You know, for real. I'm not kidding you. Everybody knows that person who has 100. I got a sister, God bless her. They have 100, what do you call those things? Storage units. 100. She pays more in storage units and lives in a little bitty space and pays 3 times the amount she does for that space she pays for storage of stuff from like the 70s. I just don't get it. But it made me start thinking. We do that inside of our worlds, believe it or not. I know I do. I didn't know it, but I know it now. So let me tell you. Okay, here's the deal. So I call my friend Mark Hattis. He's my guru. He's a mentor. He's also a brother. And I called and said, Mark, I don't know what's going on with this. Because Brian was having fun with his parents. So he was like, you figure it out. Bye. So anyway, Mark Hattis said, Okay, Lauren, take the robe out and hang it up. You're going to need to anyway because it's going to be really wrinkled. Hang it up and start becoming one with it. So I did. I hung it upstairs right on the door that leads down here because I knew I wasn't going to stay from down here. There's no way to get down here but there. So I had to pass it. And it worked. But it wasn't until I got there this weekend. Not even when I ironed it and all that. When I got there this weekend and I saw the others, and then the people from the university, they had us in this room, you guys. And Dr. Mohair, she's the chancellor of the school. She came in and they shut up. There was no one in there, no volunteers, no family members, just us graduates. And she walked around the room and she looked at each one of us and she goes, one moment, you were homeless. I'm like, dang, she knew that. She goes, one moment, you didn't think you'd ever find the love of your life. One moment, you were looking for a job and didn't think anyone would ever hire you. One moment, you thought you didn't want to be here any longer. But then suddenly, you became a doctor. And when she did that, I kid you not, I literally felt an aperture, like on a camera, open. I heard it, I felt it, and I stepped directly through it. And suddenly, I found myself viewing mural after mural after mural after mural. I promise you all, this happened. And I'm on this bridge, and I can go up to the middle, but there's a gate there. This is happening while I'm standing on the wall lined up with all the other graduates. I promise you. I can't go past it. It's like locked. But I see that in the mural I'm looking at right there in the middle of the bridge is that day, graduation day. And I just felt, I can't say I heard, they told me, but I felt, I noticed, I remembered all the murals as I walked up to the one that I was looking at, which was in the moment. And every one of those murals was one of my fondest memories. And I tell you, I know it as sure as I'm sitting here today, for me anyway, when it's time for me to transition from this journey to the next, I believe with all my spirit that I'm going to walk that bridge again. And I'm going to look at all the murals which represent those divine fondest memories of my journey. And that's what it took. That's really what it took. And boy, am I a changed man today. I really, really am. I really am. And I want that for all of you. I want you to be encouraged today and every day. So here's what's going on. Okay. So a lot of great stuff, shout out to Jeanette Ramos. I'm kind of jumping around. Jeanette Ramos, she's one of my coaching clients. She's the founder of It Takes a Village Housing Inc. It is a housing nonprofit to provide housing and all kinds of resources for single mothers with children who are trying to get back on their feet from whatever it was that took them off their feet. And so, you know how Facebook for your birthday, they allow you to raise funds for something. So it came up for me this morning. And so I still got to go in and put her logo and whatnot. It's just the generic thing they give you right now, but it is on my page. Excuse me, and find this cold. And I dropped it into the comments here. So I kicked it off with a 20, and I hope you guys can. I didn't make it big. We're just trying to help one of our own, and she's trying to help the world, so that's a no-brainer. So I put 20 in, and we're trying to raise 200. If we get there fast, I'll raise it. If not, we'll keep going, and I'll finish it off at the end. But I want to give her at least $200. She's just getting started, and the manner in which we bless others is what? That's right. It's the exact manner in which whatever is greater than us is going to bless us. So it's in there. Whatever you can spare, go ahead and drop it in. There's the link to redirect you. So, okay, my list. Happy Pride Month. Shout out to Jeanette Ramos. And then So back to this imposter syndrome. It didn't end with just the graduation. I'm okay with that now. I literally put the diploma and stuff upstairs for now, so I can walk past it for a while. Because the thing is, you got to, I hadn't realized that God will provide us things we need before we know we need them. He already knows the itinerary. He's booked all the flights. He's called all the Ubers. He's booked all the hotels. All we have to do is show up. And when the town car of purpose picks us up and we ride in the back like royalty, the royalty we are, God will open that door when we are in front of that destination that was determined for us in that particular moment. And so I've decided to just ride from now on to the end of my journey, get in the town car, and let what is greater than drive me straight to the front door of every opportunity that we have agreed upon, that has been chosen for me, and that I am chosen in return. So can I get an amen on that one? Okay. So here's the next imposter syndrome deal I'm dealing with. I got booked. I think I told you guys maybe a little bit about it. I got booked a couple weeks ago. We wanted to go to Europe. I've never been. Brian's been a couple times, but I've never been. I wanted to go to Europe for my 60th birthday, which is the 4th of July. But we knew we never can do it during the summer. So we're going to do it in the fall, around between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we're like, okay, we got to start saving. Because I want to go for a minute. I ain't trying to go for no 5 days. And I'm trying to go for like half a month. I may never get there again. Of course I want to go. So anyway, guess what God did? Took care of it all. We don't have to pay a penny. Why? Because the week of November 20th, look, Children's International has hired me to come to Romania and speak in a stadium with, I think they're estimating around 8,000 kids from 87 schools in Romania. And I sang the national anthem once at Sun Devil Stadium. And I remember that the people were so far away, you couldn't even see their faces, and it was easy. So I'm hoping it'll be like that. But just, you sit there and you go, what in the world? And it's all about understanding this journey we're on. The P3 program that I work with people on, and they work with me, greater than works with me as I'm building it out. How can I teach something that I haven't learned, right? So that patience part was a big piece for me. I wanted it, and I wanted it now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. I wanted it now. And I remember the day that God said to me, Lauren, no, you don't. And I was like, why? Why can't I have it all right now? This was years ago. He said, because Lauren, if I gave you what is coming for you before you're ready for it, first thing is it's so dang wonderful. It most likely would literally scare you to death. And we don't want that. And I was like, wait a minute. You're telling me that you can have stuff for us that is so wonderful that it could literally scare us to death, like, and he said, absolutely. So every time something good would happen, something I didn't expect, because it took me a while to get out of being surprised all the time. I remember when God said, quit being surprised, Lauren. Quit living in a world of surprise. You ain't surprised when Amazon drops your shit on the doorstep when they told you they were gonna. So why are you surprised when we deliver what we promised? And I was like, oh, good point. Took care of that. So, but here's the deal. A lot of us along our journey, we do our best, right? So it's like a storyboard. You have the idea. We know that the greatest things come through us, not from us. I don't believe we should ever have to come up with anything. All we have to do is get up and expect everything, right? Give me an amen on that one. So remember they told me, Lauren, all you have to do to fulfill your soul's desire in this world, two things, and they cancel each other out. Get up every day and search for something. Seek something that you can bring to the world today that this world has never seen before. But Lauren, that means that you need to get up every day and do something Lauren's never done before. Excuse me. And so I didn't know. I'm going to keep it real. I did not know if I was doing it or not. Many days I don't know. Am I doing enough? I never feel like I'm doing enough. Sounds like, does that resonate with you? Like we beat ourselves up and but let me tell you something. It's those little things. It's got to be. Because the things that people point in my world, say, ooh, Lauren, power we, ooh, Lauren. I didn't come up with any of those things. People executed them. People made them the wonders of this world that they are. Yeah, I was a switchboard operator, but it's very difficult to claim, look what I did, right? Because I tell you, the litmus test of purpose is that it always leaves a footprint, an imprint, a fingerprint, a soul print of more. It always leaves everybody wanting more. It leaves us needing to do more. Ooh, the comments are 44. That's my angel number. It's a good sign. And so I started asking, how do I do this thing now? I'm a visionary, okay? Everything around me, everything, every cover, every award, I asked for them. I may not have asked by name because I don't do that. That's just like when I manifest, I don't manifest money. That's one thing. I take the lazy man's approach, y'all. I manifest abundance because that covers everything in one drop, right? So quit manifesting a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a baby, a car, a new laptop. Manifest abundance. And then as it starts arriving, already have a plan of what you're going to do with it. I remember the day long time ago where I crafted, that's part of my master class, that crafting. A lot of you have seen that module, crafting the contract, when I say I started asking God and what is greater than me, all of the things available out there. I said, so you mean I can have this? Wait a minute. You telling me I can really go there? And they were like, yeah. So I started ticking it off. They were like, where I sign? Right there, initial here, initial here, initial here, and here, sign here. And that's what I did. So then I would start seeing these things show up. They would literally manifest. You guys remember the wall of purpose? Everything that started on the wall of purpose, just like Mike TV on Willy Wonka, broke into a million tiny pieces and flew over my head and ended up in this world that I'm sitting in right now. But then you do that consistently, because that's another thing, you guys, with purpose. We can never, it does not allow us to have a shared custody agreement. So I want you to think about that. Whatever it is in your life, whatever it is that's in your world, that it seems to always be within reach, but you can't get it. Well, one of the first places to start is in the world of consistency. Make sure you go back to your contract. It is in there. No shared custody agreements with your purpose. You can't get up and say, I'm going to fulfill my purpose just when you feel like $1,000,000. You can't get up and say, I'm going to fulfill my purpose. I'm going to walk my walk today because my bank account is not in the red for once. I'm dating somebody new. I'm going to walk within purpose now. I got that new apartment. Now I can start living within purpose. No. You got to live within purpose and believe in your purpose when you feel like the whole world doesn't even know your name. I had to live within purpose when I was on drugs and living on the street all those years, in and out of jails and stuff for 14 straight years. I didn't have a shared custody agreement with that addiction. That addiction picked my ass up and dropped me off every day for 14 years. Didn't miss a day. And that was to teach me that that's what I must do. You know, you guys, oftentimes those things that we think are traumatic, those people that are in our world, we go, why in the world would I be in here with you? I can't stand your wretched ass. Well, don't be so quick. Oftentimes we're around situations and others that aren't what we would prefer, simply to learn that lesson of what we can never become, because you're closer now than you've ever been. And another thing too, quit complaining when some shit shows up. If you call yourself a healer, how you going to be surprised when you open up your waiting room and it's full of patients? If you call yourself a teacher, how are you going to get all up in your feelings because you got to get to a nail appointment and you opened up the classroom and it was full of students? Y'all better come on now. It's time to quit playing, including me. So this thing, this imposter syndrome, why do we have it? And how do we get rid of it? Anybody out there dealing with imposter syndrome? What is it? See, it's already on its way out of my world. I don't even see. I'm starting forgetting the word. Imposter syndrome. Anybody dealt with it, dealing with it? Drop it in the comments. I'm interested. I really am. Y'all know I can't do this on my own. I cannot do it. I don't want to do it on my own. So I threw the doctor thing on there. I probably ain't gonna leave it on there. I just want to see it once. But I'll use it when I go to Romania. Of course I will. Up until last week, I was telling people, I ain't studying that thing. I ain't using that until I'm 75. What if I don't make it to 75? That's the talent that I buried and I didn't use it. And I'm gonna get talked to about that somewhere, someday. If God sees fit to bless us with anything, it is because it is our time. It is our season. I'm going to tell you like Dr. Mohair, I'm going to do it again. I'll never forget that moment. I'm so glad I recorded it. When she walked around and she said, 1 minute, you didn't know where your next meal was coming from. 1 minute, excuse me, you were saying, bye, so-and-so in the family. I got to let you go because I cannot be my best me if I let you continue stealing my joy. You know, the Bible tells us that if you really want what God has for you, you have to be willing to get there no matter what, through no matter whom. That means sometimes you got to say bye to mama. You got to say goodbye to daddy, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, neighbor. But the one person that will get through and still be with you is you. I'm going to tell y'all something because I just feel like being vulnerable, because I don't want any of you to believe that everything you see happen. I know how it is because I watch other people's worlds. And I go, wow, I used to through a different lens. I don't look through that lens anymore where I was stargazing or, ooh, they sure are lucky. How come all that good stuff happens to them? Well, let me tell you something, y'all. When I said that purpose always leads to the litmus test, the litmus test is that it leaves more. Well, that means, yeah, you have more celebrations, but you also have more sleepless nights. You also have more challenges, more speed bumps, more hurdles, but you also have more joy to share and pour into the lives of others. You have more creativity, more ideas, more and more. So, the difficult part, and let's say difficult, see, word that deceives, gotta go. It's not difficult. It's challenging. It's interesting. I've recently started saying, and I want you to write this down. Remember this one. This is a big one. This is a humdinger. What you believe is greater than you, what you ascribe to, that you call upon when you need a word. Whatever you call that entity, God, spirit, source, they don't make mistakes, y'all. But they sure make it interesting. They sure make it interesting. Saturday, when I received this wonderful, wonderful blessing that'll go on my headstone one day, it is the very first word in front of my name when they read my eulogy one day. I'm just telling you, I never could have imagined it. In my darkest, darkest moments, when it was either listen to that voice that I felt put its hand on my shoulder as I got up to go on that stage and thought my knees would buckle Saturday. That same hand that always let me know it was there, it would just squeeze me. Just let me know you're not alone. Wants that for all of you. Wants that for each and every single one of you. Now, back to this imposter syndrome thing, because I got to figure it out, because I'm about to start working on that. We don't need that. And the longer we have things inside of our world that do not serve us, and then we become aware of it, right? Like now I put a name to it. That was a real thing. I mean, come on. Going all the way outside and walking around the house not to walk past a box with a graduation robe in it. That's not some ordinary spirit. I'm going to let that hang out there for just a second. And I had to understand that it wasn't. And I had to face it. I did it one step at a time. Bring the box in, okay? Just let it sit there. Now open the box, okay? Now let it sit there. Now look at all the contents. Still didn't take them out of little bags and stuff. Just let it sit there. But when God worked through me and with me and got me ready, I went in and I pulled everything out. And then I hung it up. And then I ironed it. And then I put it on. And then it made sense. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, decades of question marks disappeared. Decades of scratching my head, biting my nails, pacing the floor, wondering, could this be? Can this be? Are these things literally possible? Years of it disappeared suddenly, just like that. You know, I tell you, oftentimes there are things in this world that we experience that when we try to tell others about it initially, we can't find the words. And you don't want to just grab any old turd and throw it out there to try to represent it because nope, it's just not, it just doesn't do it justice. Well, let me tell you what I'm beginning to understand more and more clearly every day. We get to this part of our journey, we get to a level, we start ascending, we begin awakening. And suddenly we just don't see those things that are literally in front of us. I tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here, I told someone this over the weekend. Listen to this. When I was a little boy, that very first day when I was taken and went to that very first foster home, which just happened to be the very first day that I would be abused sexually. People thought I had imaginary friends. Oh, he's okay. He's over there talking, playing with his imaginary friends. I was 9, 10 years old then. On the 4th of July, I'll be 60 years old. And I still talk and play with those same imaginary friends. Why? Because they were never imaginary, but they were always friends. They came in the form of angels, spirits, things that I don't know their names. But nonetheless, they have been here with me, and they are there with you. They always have been, and they always will be. And so the imposter syndrome, I wanted to just take a look at something I found because I want us to talk about it because it's a real thing. And boy, I mean, it's easier now to talk about it than a couple weeks ago when the cap and gown and stuff came. But I still need to know more, right? So something else I found out this weekend. You know, Dr. Maya Angelou, a legend. Do you know? All of her doctor was an honorary. And when she died and left this world, I think they said she had over 50 honorary degrees and never once completed college. This is a little something about her. Take a listen.
Even after writing 11 books and winning several prestigious awards, Maya Angelou couldn't escape the nagging doubt that she hadn't really earned her accomplishments. Albert Einstein experienced something similar. He described himself as an involuntary swindler whose work didn't deserve as much attention as it had received. Accomplishments at the level of Angelou's or Einstein's are rare, but their feeling of fraudulence is extremely common. Why can't so many of us shake feelings that we haven't earned our accomplishments, or that our ideas and skills aren't worthy of others' attention? Psychologist Pauline Rose Clance was the first to study this unwarranted sense of insecurity. In her work as a therapist, she noticed many of her undergraduate patients shared a concern. Though they had high grades, they didn't believe they deserved their spots at the university. Some even believed their acceptance had been an admissions error. While Clance knew these fears were unfounded, she could also remember feeling the exact same way in graduate school. She and her patients experienced something that goes by a number of names: imposter phenomenon, imposter experience, and imposter syndrome. Together with colleague Suzanne Imes, Clance first studied imposterism in female college students and faculty. Their work established pervasive feelings of fraudulence in this group. Since that first study, the same thing has been established across gender, race, age, and a huge range of occupations, though it may be more prevalent and disproportionately affect the experiences of underrepresented or disadvantaged groups. To call it a syndrome is to downplay how universal it is. It's not a disease or an abnormality, and it isn't necessarily tied to depression, anxiety, or self-esteem.
Thank you, Jesus.
Where do these feelings of fraudulence come from?
Where?
People who are highly skilled or accomplished tend to think others are just as skilled. This can spiral into feelings that they don't deserve accolades and opportunities over other people. And as Angelou and Einstein experienced, there's often no threshold of accomplishment that puts these feelings to rest. Feelings of imposterism aren't restricted to highly skilled individuals either. Everyone is susceptible to a phenomenon known as pluralistic ignorance, where we each doubt ourselves privately, but believe we're alone in thinking that way, because no one else voices their doubts. Since it's tough to really know how hard our peers work, how difficult they find certain tasks, or how much they doubt themselves, there's no easy way to dismiss feelings that we're less capable than the people around us. Intense feelings of imposterism can prevent people from sharing their great ideas or applying for jobs and programs where they'd excel. At least so far, the most surefire way to combat imposter syndrome is to talk about it. Many people suffering from imposter syndrome are afraid that if they ask about their performance, their fears will be confirmed. And even when they receive positive feedback, it often fails to ease feelings of fraudulence. But on the other hand, hearing that an advisor or mentor has experienced feelings of imposterism can help relieve those feelings. The same goes for peers. Even simply finding out there's a term for these feelings can be an incredible relief. Once you're aware of the phenomenon, you can combat your own imposter syndrome by collecting and revisiting positive feedback. One scientist who kept blaming herself for problems in her lab started to document the causes every time something went wrong. Eventually, she realized most of the problems came from equipment failure and came to recognize her own competence. We may never be able to banish these feelings entirely, but we can have open conversations about academic or professional challenges. With increasing awareness of how common these experiences are, perhaps we can feel freer to be frank about our feelings and build confidence in some simple truths. You have talent, you are capable, and you belong. Everyone can use a little extra kick of confidence sometimes. Find out some tips and tricks for boosting yours with this video.
So there we go. I found that very interesting. I hadn't pre-watched it or anything. I mean, I knew, exactly what they were going to say. And so one of the things that just resonated with me, how about you, in watching that clip, was that the solution that they continually threw in front of us was what? Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. That's what we do here. We talk about it. So let me head to the comments. Wow, 93 of them. I'm trying to see if anyone, a lot of stuff in here. Thank you guys. Hi, Erica. Erica Katz, good morning. Lori Whitney, thank you. Jeanette Ramos, Sherry McQueen, Robert Brooker, hello to you. And Tia Rogers, good morning. And all of you Facebook users that are on different platforms, and I don't really know who you are, but good morning to you too. Made a lot of new friends over the weekend. So chamomile with honey and vanilla, that sounds wonderful. That sounds like something you could stick a fork in. Okay, so anybody, just chime in. Oh, Jeanette did. She says, we have to stop beating ourselves up. We do our best and the universe will take care of the rest. It's not always about action. Is Narinder Pun here? I didn't know. Oh, Narinder Kaur is. Oh, hi. Good mom. She called me Dr. Lord. Thank you. Somebody traveled all over Europe. Oh, that's something else I want to show you guys just for fun before we get out of here. So I love to take you guys on journeys with me, to help me. Again, I'll repeat it, to help me. I need your help. You guys do believe me, don't you? I certainly hope you do. When I say, thank you all, this, whatever it is, this is ours. And when I show the Power We clip that we have out now, I know that I do that to show you all what we did and what we are capable of. But same thing with this honorary degree. That's ours. That belongs to all of us. Because every time one of us wins, as a family, as a collective, we all win. And I mean that. I can't speak for other people, but I mean that. Why? Because I remember falling asleep in the back of an abandoned car, and it was so cold, the water that was on the floor, my hand fell off the seat and landed in that water, and the water froze around my pinky finger during the night. That's what awoke me. I remember that. I was all alone. Or was I? I remember that Christmas in Phoenix when I was homeless and was in the bathroom of a Jack-in-the-Box eating condiments out of the packages for my Christmas dinner. I thought I was all alone. Or was I? I have these illuminated conversations, you guys, when it's just you and I, because I always have a feeling that it's a real opportunity. I like to find my way to you guys as quickly as I can after leaving those sacred, divine experiences, such as the one this weekend. I want to get to you before the shimmer begins to fade, if that makes any sense. Because I know that even if just one can say, "Ooh, let me catch some of that," I believe it's my time. I know it's my turn. I want that more than anything in the world. I really, really do. I want to see your faces on those murals as I cross that bridge one day to get from here to what is next. I mean that. And so when I say I want you guys to help me, okay, we're going to take a little look because I don't want this to be all, ooh, which, I can do in a second. Don't get me to crying. Top 10 places to visit in Romania. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this is the first time I even looked. I don't even know where it is on the map, right? Because since they booked me, I haven't gone and looked, and that's got to be imposter syndrome. Oh, I don't want to look. It's too good to be true. Oh, I don't want to get all excited. What if they change their mind? Oh, how, all that shit. Done. I want every jug. I want every drop from the opportunity towel that what is greater than source, spirit, God, the universe has for me. How about you? I'm not trying to leave. I want that towel dry, crispy, crackly. I'm not trying to leave anything on the table. Can I get an amen? How about you? Right? You want all yours? I know you do. Be a fool not to. So let's take a look at this for just a second.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and I want to show you my favorite places in the magical country of Romania. So here is my Romania top 10. Romania is definitely one of Europe's most underrated countries. It's a land full of alluring castles and beautiful medieval cities. From the windy roads of the Trans-Făgărașan Highway to the wonders of the Bran Castle, Romania has so much waiting to be explored. Let's start this video off in the medieval city of Sighișoara. Now located in central Romania, Sighișoara is a beautiful town with a unique history. Back in the 12th century, the King of Hungary invited German craftsmen and merchants to settle in Romania, and they were known as the Transylvanian Saxons. Now, the group settled in 1191 in present-day Sighișoara, and the city rose up to become an important strategic and commercial destination for Central Europe. Today, it's one of Romania's best-preserved medieval walled cities. I just love how the fortified part is built upon a hill, and it can be seen from all over. Really is a magical destination that deserves a visit. Now, just 30 minutes from Sighișoara is the little Pierton Fortified Church. Now, located in the small village of Pierton, the impressive church was completed in 1524 and was originally Roman Catholic and then changed to Lutheran after the Reformation. Now, what is unique about this church is that it's heavily fortified with 3 layers of protective walls. Ottoman armies were a threat in the area, and so the people of the village decided to fortify the church. I mean, such a unique and beautiful place if you ask me. Now afterwards, we're going to visit the city of Sibiu. Now located just an hour and a half from Sighișoara,
I'm so glad I have this pulled up. They're like, you're muted. I was running my mouth. I said, I was looking in there and I was like this because it started. The imposter syndrome thing started. I didn't watch anything. That's the first time I've had the guts, because you guys are here, to look in and see, well, what does Romania even look like? I don't know if I was afraid to look at something before just now because I might jinx it, or I did not want to get too excited. I don't know, but whatever it was some bullshit. I'm gonna just tell you, because already I'm looking in there. I'm like, ooh, any black folks? I'm gonna ask that. I'm just looking, because I, like I said, when I was muted, I don't care if there aren't any. I know one that'll be there. My black ass. Sure will. I'm gonna be there. A lot of people say already, in our family, well, what about the unrest and stuff? I don't care. Like I said, God sends me into an area near where there was a war, whatever. I'm going. What do you think it is in our cities? What do you think you're walking through every day? Have you not been watching the news? Texas is a war. Buffalo was a war. The mall right here, 10 minutes from my house, back a few months ago, gunfire, was a war. Kids being sacrificed, human sacrifice. Women, human sacrifice. In the sex trade and all that is a war. Old people eating cat food because they don't have sources for healthy, nutritious meals nor help is a war. So what the hell I care about there being a war over in Europe, and guys opens up a door and says there's 8,000 kids that need to hear your message, Lauren. See, that's the thing, you guys. When you get up every day and you really, without having a shared custody agreement, getting up every day and really being willing to do whatever it takes, that is when it all starts to make sense. I promise you, this is the place where it all begins to come together. Now, another thing, you guys, I'm keeping it real. Because, a lot of stuff used to scare me. Success scared me. All kinds of things that served me scared me. When it should have been the shit in here that wasn't serving me, that would scare me. But see, they don't come looking like monsters. They make all the things I need to be the best me. They make that look like the stuff I should be scared of. Scared of success. Scared of this. Scared of... And then they come in, those things that don't serve me, like Greater Than showed me how they've been running around in my world all these years. It showed me that little boy on the coaching people, I've showed you the clips. They showed me little boy in The Shining riding that big wheel all through the hotel. That's how they look. They look like, oh, look at that cute little boy on the big wheel. Hi, little fella. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Riding all around up in my house. Ain't even thinking about serving me. And I'm just saying, oh, that's that cute little boy up there. I ain't got to worry about him. All my dreams are tucked in bed up there. I ain't got to worry about him. Yes, you do. They told me the longer you let that sucker ride around up there unattended, it's just going to be a few more moments because he's not there to serve you, Lauren. If you let him ride around unattended, it's just going to be a little bit just around the corner. You'll be serving him. Again, I'm going to let that hang out there. Whatever you have in your world that is not serving you, get rid of it. Forgive it. Banish it. Bless it. Forgive it. Then bless it. I'm going to use my own sister as an example. This is real talk, y'all. My sister Cheryl. We call her Vanessa. I love her dearly. But there are a lot of things that she does that don't make me feel good about myself that I cannot love, no matter how much I love her. And I remember when God showed me she was here at this house. She got mad because I wouldn't let her keep throwing the foster care shame blanket back on me. She would say things to me like, we rescued you from the trash can, from your birth mother. We took you out of the garbage. She literally has said that to me. She's literally said all kinds of things. But you know what? We're already told they're going to speak all manner of evil against you, and that means anybody, everybody. I remember the night she left this house. That was about 3 years ago. I haven't seen her since. And I was putting some recycling in the bin on the side of the house, and they were leaving out the front. I was trying to stay as far away as possible. And God said to me, take a good look, Lauren, as she gets into that car. Because you very well could be, I'm not saying it is, but you need to know that it is possible. If she's not willing to do the work, you could be looking at her through earthly eyes right now for the very last time. That was a toughie. but it wasn't serving me. So I want you guys to be encouraged. I want you to look around your world, lift every cushion, dig in every junk drawer, and find those things that are not serving you. So I had to, just like my sister, I had to forgive her right then in that spot when I was watching her get in that car. Something told me, I felt a universal urgency. Do it now. Forgive her. Bless her. And then that thing within her that is not serving you, speak directly to it, not her, and banish it. Thank you for whatever you did through her all these years to bring me to where I am right now. Now go. Your services are no longer required here. I had to summon my soul as security to walk this sucker out to the very outskirts of my kingdom. And I had to say, make sure you get that passport back. And it was banished. I want you guys to be encouraged today. I want you to dig out whatever it is you dreamed from the very beginning. That thing that you've been feeling inside your spirit, and it just won't let you go. There's a reason. There's a reason it will not let you go. It cannot let you go. You have a covenant with that dream. You have a contract with that mission. You have a responsibility to your soul to get her done. Anything you can send me on imposter syndrome, send it in, because I'm about to banish that one. They got to go. And for real, not for play. But I'm just grateful. You know, it's a great thing when you're almost 60 years old and you're still learning how to become better. That's why I say every day, including right now as we leave, every day that you get up and say, I'm still in this fight, that makes you great. Every day that you get up and say, I will not stay down, that makes you strong. Every time you say, my yeas are yeas and my nays are nays, and you stick with it, that makes you bold. So find one E and find one R and put it on top of everything you already are. Take great to greater, strong to stronger, bold to bolder, kind to kinder. Get out there today and be the change you want to see in the world. Get out there and be the blessing that you've been waiting on all your life. It's got to start somewhere. Why not us? I'm Lauren. Wait. I'm Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris. And suddenly, I believe it. I'll see you tomorrow on the front porch for another episode of Bathrobe Moments. God bless you and be the blessing. I love you guys. I love you.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine.